The royal family is confronted with new concerns regarding the cost of some of its most costly residences. And Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are the main focus this time. Despite not being employed members of the royal family, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's daughters have profited from royal housing arrangements for almost 20 years, according to a recent audit by Britain's National Audit Office. The results have rekindled a discussion that many believed had ended years ago. How much assistance must be given to royals who are not employed? And who ought to foot the bills? Princess Beatrice reportedly received an offer for a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom flat at St. James's Palace when she was just 19 years old and getting ready to go to college. Up until 2012, she and Princess Eugenie were said to have lived there rent-free. It was stated at the time that their father, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, would pay for rent arrangements when they were finally implemented. Even yet, the stated yearly payment of about £20,000 was thought to be much less than the market value for a home in one of the most prominent royal residences in London. These days, both women have excellent occupations, are married, and have their own children. Princess Beatrice splits her time between London and the family's Cotswolds home. She is married to real estate developer Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi. Princess Eugenie and her husband, Jack Brooks-Bank, divide their time between a villa in Portugal where they are raising their 2 sons and Ivy Cottage at Kensington Palace. Many observers have been taken aback by the fact that, despite their financial independence, there are still concerns about the reasons behind the current housing arrangements. The National Audit Office discovered that both princesses' rental estimates had been based on out-of-date property appraisals for several years. Eugenie's rent was still determined using a 2018 valuation. It was predicated on a 2020 valuation for Beatrice. According to the research, between 2020 and 2025, Eugenie's rent fluctuated between 50% and 63% of the evaluated market value. Over a same time span, Beatrice's rent varied from 60% to 68% of the assessed market value. Non-working members of the royal family are often required by royal household policy to pay an adjusted rent equal to 60% of open market value. Even this arrangement, according to critics, is generous. Norman Baker, a former Liberal Democrat minister, did not hold back. He called the situation outrageous and said that non-working royals should not be given what he considered to be indirect subsidies. Because his remarks touch on a long-running public discussion regarding royal finances and openness, they have garnered a lot of attention. The article covers far more ground than just Beatrice and Eugenie. It also includes new information regarding Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's previous residence at Windsor's Royal Lodge. The results showed that he was permitted to sublease 3 of the 8 properties on the Royal Lodge estate. Just that detail has led to more investigation. The Public Accounts Committee of Parliament is now anticipated to look into the questions, reviewing the lease arrangement and correspondence between the Treasury and the Crown Estate. Royal Lodge has been one of the most talked about royal homes for many years. After Andrew withdrew from public life, the property became even more contentious. This story now has a new chapter thanks to the National Audit Office findings. Although Andrew's daughters have received a lot of attention, the report also included information about a number of other royal housing arrangements. Prince and Princess Michael of Kent are among the most notable examples. When it was revealed in 2002 that the couple was paying what was called a peppercorn rent of just £69 a week for Flat 10 at Kensington Palace, many royal watchers will recall the headlines. At the time, the tale drew a lot of criticism. They were famously dubbed the renter-Kents by newspapers. Demands that they pay a fair commercial rent eventually resulted from public pressure. But the story claims that the late Queen intervened and paid their rent on her own. It's possible that many people were unaware that this support seems to have persisted over time. According to the National Audit Office, King Charles carried up the arrangement after Queen Elizabeth II passed away in 2022. According to the research, the lease had never been valued before this year. According to current estimates, rent levels are around 63% of the market valuation for 2026. In contrast, the report presents a completely different image of the Prince and Princess of Wales. The residence arrangements for William and Catherine seem to be intended to evade many of the accusations aimed at other royals. The pair pays £307,200 a year for their Forest Lodge residence, according to the newspaper. According to reports, the Crown Estate renovated the property, its cottages, and the surrounding grounds for about £400,000 before they moved in. The Forest Lodge is a big house. A Georgian home with 8 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, gardens, a paddock, a barn, a tennis court, a pond, and other cottages make up the estate. A staff member who spends about £20,000 a year in rent occupies one of those villas. The Wales family signed a 20-year lease, and their rent would be reviewed on a regular basis based on inflation. The structure seems far more in line with what most people would anticipate from a traditional lease. The audit also looked at the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh's long-standing tenancy at Bagshot Park. In 2007, Edward and Sophie signed a 150-year lease for £5 million. With Crown Estate approval, the arrangement also permits the subleasing of portions of the estate. Through rental agreements with a third party, the stable complex once produced private revenue. Princess Alexandra, a relative of Queen Elizabeth II, was also referenced in the report. Under a different lease arrangement involving a trust, she resides at Richmond Park's Thatched House Lodge. Marina Ogilvie, her daughter, spends around £17,000 a year in rent to live in a cottage on the Windsor estate. The Crown Estate and Buckingham Palace both released statements after the news was published. According to the Crown Estate, open market appraisals and independent professional advice were used to agree on the leases. The report was praised by Buckingham Palace, which claimed it demonstrated the royal household's dedication to openness. The palace also pointed out that various arrangements exist for various properties based on their location, tenants, and purpose. However, the disclosures about Beatrice and Eugenie have elicited the most intense response. The fact that neither woman is a working royal has been noted by numerous royal observers. As members of the core functioning royal family, neither performs official tasks on behalf of the king. Both have successful professional careers and are married to affluent husbands. Because of this, the question posed by many commenters is really straightforward. Should family members who are no longer carrying out official royal duties continue to receive royal housing support indefinitely? There are currently no signs that the arrangements are going to change. However, the discussion about royal property arrangements is unlikely to go away anytime soon because the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament is anticipated to review some of the report. Additionally, as we've seen in the past, concerns regarding royal finances often linger for a considerable amount of time after they start to make news. What do you think then? Should these residence arrangements be maintained for Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie? Or should royals who are not employed pay full market rent just like everyone else? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. We'll be posting more royal news and commentary soon, so please remember to subscribe if you liked this update.